it to Auntie Cleo to turn a perfectly charming little hamlet called Fairfield on a pleasant moon named Eden into a garish, cutthroat, jingle-blaring mudhole.
Good luck out there. Happy hunting, soldier. Between the constant assault of drones and my official reprimands, I can't get a moment's peace of mind. Seems all I can do is stand here and observe. Maybe that'll get me back into Car's good graces. Or maybe not.
temptations and outsider.
I must say, I have many reservations about this. The
I
Protectorate
think
has
this was
always
the last one
provided
for the
for us.
day.
For what reason would we forsake such a stable and safe way of life? So your superiors order you to thrive? See. And why would I want to do such a thing? Surely my assigned place would provide me with all the necessities of life?
Yes, but you can have more necessities, and even some...
Benzos made them better with Auntie Cleo's patented mock apple cider.
Suppose it was only a matter of time until we were discovered. Though what an odd thing to die for. Apples. Spare me such timid drivel. We needn't waste time bandying lies. Of course, I know why you're really here. You have come to exact retribution for our larceny at your greenhouse. How coincidental. When we've finished here, your fellows will call your death the same. The greenhouse's stolen bounty offered a healthy alternative to gorging ourselves on that vending machine poison. Alas, I was spotted on 1 or 2 forays. You must have a weak mind to have fallen prey to such dubious marketing. I bet you don't even know half of what's in what you consume. The horror of it. Starving? Hardly. We have greater stores of strength than you suppose. This hunger is a momentary distraction, nothing more. If you are conniving for some concession of weakness, you will be a long time waiting. Enough! We know what is expected of us, and we have readied ourselves to meet death in all its personas. Have you?
What the?
Allocating it.
Advance!
Reloading.
You did me a big favor here. I knew someone, or something, had been absconding with food from the greenhouse, but never in a million skips would I have guessed it were stowaways. Huh. Guess I had this mystery all wrong. A small part of me was hoping... Nah, never mind. It's downright foolish. I lost a friend in the invasion. A good friend. Thought maybe all this was her trying to send me a message of some kind. Like I said, foolish. She was. Yeah. Oh, that feels good to say aloud, even if it hurts too. Romantic entanglements ain't exactly encouraged between troopers, especially in the same division. Supposedly compromises our decision-making in the field. But I digress. Thanks for your help, and for listening to my languishments. Glad someone else might remember her now, too. Emmeline will be pleased not to have to worry about her fruits and such going missing anymore.
want to think about the damage those crabbles are gonna do to my machines.
They're crabbles. They ain't gonna do nothing to mind your own business interests.
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. Nothing too bad. Aside from the headaches, nightmares, missing teeth, and headaches. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Did the authorities send you? Did my torrent of messages finally convince them of the vast crab-like dangers near at hand? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Good, then it's not too late for you to turn back. You must have spied those nefarious crabbles, roiling, rippling, bubbling, and churning out in the water. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled as they gather to defy us. A consortium, nay, an army. Huh, shows what you know. Crabbles are the bane of Arcadia. Strong, intelligent, and superior to us in every way. You actually believe me? No, stranger. Thank you. With your confidence and support, I believe the Crabble threat can and will be defeated. Remain strong, and together we will outlast the Crabble! Damn Crabbles are getting more ornery by the moment. Getting better, I think. The Crabbles have seemed less menacing of late. Maybe our resolve has worn down their warlike spirit. Or maybe they're just biding their time.
that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox Relay station. What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshall, you're acting as though I'm not standing here arguing the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing, but not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. Well, prepare to be disappointed. We've got a gas leak, if the color of the sky hadn't already informed you. Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals, though we may not last long if we fail to repair the uranium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but I appreciate someone who speaks their mind. The Vox Relay station needs our automechs. But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype uranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. What did I tell you, Woodrow? The situation's well in hand.
Marshall, those automechs have been corrupted with uranium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong.
brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Uranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment due to my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Downright privileged.
Oh, a new arrival. Oh, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of Zeranium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Zeranium? I'll mark it down as haphazard meandering then. All too common these days. More dangerous than one might think. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced Zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Don't have much to spare, but you're free to have a look.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have. Defend it. First the attack, then there's Iranian. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. We're a mite bit busy these days. You want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through. Under the marshal's office, she'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful. The marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox Relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Zeranium-corrupted automechs open fire on Protectorate soldiers, and I end up in the darkest bowels of mental refreshment. Oh is right. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Quite busy, as I said, and less pleased for this unscheduled work suspension. Now, did you have some business here? Ah. Our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a prototype shield gadget, the first of its kind. Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. That building took the brunt of the damage during a recent attack, and now it's spewing valuable Zeranium all over the place. I could speak at length about Zeranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, but suffice it to say, in its gaseous state, it's rather deadly. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely need to work out some minor implementation concerns. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good, good, wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished, so you be sure to give it your all. Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with local samples. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Well, of course, obviously. To that end, I'd suggest choosing a cloud of lesser density for your collection efforts. Lower chance of near-instant death that way. If you suffer prolonged exposure, assuming you survive, see our local medical officer next door. She is highly preoccupied by the treatment of Zeranium-related maladies. I believe that covers all the necessary education for this particular assignment. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing your work. Now, shoo-shoo! Off with you now! Gather those samples! Shoo!
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displayed standard overload-induced... paralysis, then became atypically aggressive. Forced to terminate... Test model in self-defense.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? Oh, it's really quite fascinating. It projects a field that protects the user from all manner of dangers. Kinetic force, electricity, thermal spikes, you name it. The technicians here used it to shield themselves from the uranium gas that was barring entrance to this facility's primary repair structure. A job well done, if I do say so myself. Well, I do still have my initial prototype lying around, but it's highly unusual to share confidential protectorate technology with just anyone. That being said, I'd be willing to lend the prototype to a supporter who generously invested in furthering my research for a reasonable contribution. As you wish. Should your willingness to support crucial research seek an outlet, I'll be here. Until a more convenient date and time.
Yes? You want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through, under the marshal's office. She'll only be able to sell you our surplus, but you might find some of it useful.
for the betterment of Arcadia. So too have I been...
Must be at least a few usable parts in here. Ah, it's warped. Just like everything else.
What do you mean you're leaving? Squaring up.
Excuse me? Noted! My favorite...
What are you raring to fight? What was that? Commencing termination! What are you squaring up?
Great waves of umbrage rolling right through me. Eventually...
I heard swearing up.
Cover me! Take 'em out.
up my sleeves! Now commence! What are you commencing termination? Rolling. What are you commencing termination? Squaring up. Took him out. What are you commencing termination? What are you squaring up?
Never recognized, never commended, but don't be resentful. Wouldn't anybody be? A profusion of reasons why. Ask anyone. I heard that. All right, rolling up my sleeves.
What are you commencing termination? Ain't nothing there. Right, each and everything have to be now ready. Squaring up. Each and everything. Commencing
moist atmosphere and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch. Working with and through the sovereign devised the paradigm, a meticulously designed. Marvel where, if each of us does our part, produces glorious bounty for all. Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive
Well,
species can
these
unbalance.
visitors, huh? Just meandering about, free of any appointed minder? Not so sure I ought to be speaking with you. If you need someone to talk to hereabouts, I suggest you seek out Vigilant Hogarth. That tall, stately building back yonder is his domicile. Do hate to come off impolite. If you're so inclined, we can pick this up later, after you two confabulate. Word to the wise, despite what you might hear, we still consider ourselves part of the Protectorate. Anyone spots an outsider engaging in misdeeds might just open fire.
Any minor disruption.
Everything, literally everything I own is underwater.
What do you mean? Everything. To inform on a neighbor is a blessing, Prudence says. I'm still waiting for a few thank yous.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous. Insufficiencies in defense against seizure, sabotage, and indoctrinatory falsity.
Well, it's infected. Meds arrive soon. We'll have you locked in here under your own steam and appear reasonably free of cuts, burns, or weeping lesions. So, I assume you're presently devoid of mortiferous injuries. Good. Because we've got more of that than we can handle. You haven't heard? When Antes invaded, they broke the seawall. Flooded nearly half the town below, where most of the domiciles were. A number of our subjects drowned. Others got concussed, or even crushed. A few were electrocuted or exposed to caustics. Took a while for our water purifier to catch up, so some drank tainted water, which is not good for you at all. I'm glad it's working again. All right, well, don't let me keep you.
We all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment.
Word on the wireless is that Auntie's choice is years behind us sociologically. So they've started the war to grab any part of the paradigm that they can.
Of course, it's part of the Sovereign's plan. He floods our houses, which makes more habitat for fish, which offers us more to eat, which gives us the strength to build new houses.
My body is covered in burns, acquired in battle during the attack.
Stranger?
The only relief I have is when I can jump in the water and float over my former house.
We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The matriarch chose Eden because she recognized it as the perfect ecosystem. The native flora and fauna, balanced atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinatingly complex ecological network. To govern it, the matriarch, working with and through the sovereign, devised the paradigm,
Trust the plan, preserve said progress.
Sometimes
In the system.
challenges do arise.
Town water tanks got all sort of needless warning labels on it. Like, avoid placing harmful irritants inside.
I think it's meant to stop me from dropping my father-in-law.
Some raptidons, or the base individualists within Auntie's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever,
The matriarch and sovereign chose Eden, the perfect
maintain it.
ecotope, as our home.
Greetings, non-protectorate wretches. With regret, I must inform you that those outside our glorious society may not take freely from our stocks, as our subjects do. However, I may offer you a limited selection of premium items for moderate respective fees. Initiating.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? Report them for mental refreshment post-haste. It's not just a good idea.
Glad the wireless told me that I'm happy and everything's splendid. I was tempted to feel sad after the...
Under protectorate law, we are bound to inform you that you have entered a recreant locality. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient zeal in defense against seizure, sabotage, and/or manipulative indoctrinatory falsity.
I had a nightmare that the matriarch didn't gift us the paradigm. And we were left to scramble for purpose and profit like the MP's
Our
workers.
sense of community. They
Everyone knows the paradigm epitomizes the pinnacle of social order. Why? Because the matriarch herself designed it, and the sovereign embodies and executes on it. Throughout history, human societies were constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm, benevolent hand of the sovereign to guide them. Here on Eden, we all enjoy the full luxury the paradigm affords us. A perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for recreation. Work isn't stressful.
You returned.
Greetings.
Naturally, sometimes challenges do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance even the most robust ecosystem, like those meddlesome raptidons, or the base individualists within anti-choice. So don't fret, the system is resilient. The system abides. But now, more than ever, we must all do our part to maintain it. Keep doing your job with pride. Keep informing.
It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance. Record states as follows. All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to... I beg to differ. Those walls have stood for over a century and would easily have stood for another, were it not for Auntie's greed and envy, and explosives.
Our enemies envy our prosperity.
That is unlikely, as they are too ignorant to see our obvious superiority. Our society was built from the bedrock up, through the vision of our matriarch. Due to her genius, the structure of our society is perfect, planned down to the last subject. We all work as a unified whole for the betterment of all. Unlike those corporate colonies, where it's every person for themselves.
Constantly out of balance. Individualism ran rampant. Depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering. Poor dears didn't have the firm...
Obviously, there was some sort of betrayal from within. Even a perfect society has its malcontents, and selfish consumerism is an alluring drug for weak minds. But consider all we've achieved that others have not. Why, we've even eradicated manual labor through our perfection of auto-mechanicals. Can aunties claim such?
Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have...
Actually made me chuckle. And here I'd begun to think that no longer possible. That brings me to a matter I'd like to discuss with you, actually. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, auto-mech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
The matriarch working with and through the sovereign devised...
We are of like minds. We lack not the skill to do so. Our wily chief mechanist can reprogram the mech, but not without parts. Unfortunately, we lack ready availability of said parts.
...do arise. We all know how invasive species can unbalance...
Oh, you failed to hear the loudspeakers on the way in? The announcement we're obliged to repeat incessantly. Well, allow me to paraphrase. Protectorate law finds us guilty of treason on account of letting Westport fall prey to Auntie's choice saboteurs. These fine and decent folk don't deserve having their lives thrown away on account of my failures. If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such. Hence my use of the term reasonable facsimile. I owe it to every single person here to try. What sort of payment do you seek?
Don't imagine we have much you need. Enough to lead and inspire those who work there, once at least. I was previously the ranking vigilant on this island. Why do you ask? Ah, I don't know what an Earth Directorate is, and I thought we were past the need for being coy, but fine. I'll extend you my trust as a show of good faith. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in. Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south. But do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
The paradigm affords us a perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community, purpose, time for...
Farewell now.
We sleep well at night. Work isn't strenuous or stressful. Food is nutritious and plentiful. We have everything we need. Prudence dictates we take a moment to rightly appreciate it all and thank the Sovereign.
Material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.